good afternoon, YouTube. This is Dr. Wanda, and I'm sitting down to announce that, hey, I got my residency approved today. Isaac Ekbosu, my husband, went to pick it up from the immigration office, and they approved me for 1 year. We'd hoped for two, but it is standard for them to approve you for 1 year, and so I'm going to take my approval and run with it. What does it mean to get your residency? What is the difference between having the visa and having a residency? Well, with the visa, you're just visiting. They usually don't allow it to be longer than 3 months, and they keep making you come back to extend it. And every time that's going on, you sort of are paying like these arbitrary fees. You really don't know what you're going to be hit with at that office, because of course, if you're late, there is a significant penalty. And the country is going through a lot of changes due to COVID. So there was one person that said they went to extend their visa, and what they were asked to do was to also pay for a COVID test. So none of that has ever happened with me. I've gone with my husband. I don't do any talking. He manages everything, and so I haven't had what I consider that financial trauma. Um, I will tell you this. I submitted three letters. One was my husband's application for residency. The other two were um, a letter from who I consider like the best assistant ever, my son here, Joseph. He wrote a letter. Um, Basically, I didn't, saying, attesting to my character. Who am I as a woman? Who have I been since I've been in this country as an educator? What does he know of me? And then I made an effort for the first year I was here. I hosted that health fair. And I did a series of stops in terms of the School of the Blind, the School of the Deaf. I was out in Kamasi. I was in Cape Coast. I was over at Akusi working with them with issues with malaria, mosquitoes. And so there was just a lot of work that was put in. And we assembled it in like a photo book. But initially I said, I need to actually have the chiefs and the stools and the assemblyman account for the work and say, hey, I explained to them that I'm going for my residency. I would like for them to write a letter, representing me, saying, yes, this lady has brought these things to our country, because one of the things that they're looking at is your character. They want to know, who are you? What do you bring to the table? I cannot get mad at Ghana because the U.S. does the exact same thing to people applying for residency in the U.S. Or really just a visitor's visa gets that level of questioning. And so those pieces were submitted. They do require a bond. Someone has to sign the bond for you. And then, of course, it's the money. And so this is Ghana. So, what one person is charged is not necessarily what the other person is charged. There does seem to be a bit of a discount if you're married. I'm sure people who have a parent will experience a similar discount. But other than that, you go and you pay what these people ask you to pay. And one thing about me is I understand the concept of pay to play. So I don't get to these places and get to debating, and I thought it said this and the website said that, but you asking for this. I shut my mouth. I make up my mind what it is I'm trying to achieve. Get in line, and let's get this moving. So yeah, I was blessed that this was kind of streamlined for me. I had the pieces of artifacts that I needed to represent myself, and I'm a resident. So what's the benefits? Well, I can apply for a job. I can attend school here. I don't have to keep going back quarterly. I have a whole year where I don't have to keep going back to extend a visa. I can have multiple entries undisturbed. I can get my Ghana card, my Ghana ID card, which will open up for me to have my Momo, my SIM card registered, because they're requiring that now. They want these SIM cards registered, and I can still move my Momo money. Now, I've been working with a registered SIM card and being able to use Momo, but not under my name. So this would open it up where I actually can do all of that good stuff under my own name, and I like that. So I think the best part of it is because I have the residency. So should I apply the next time for they have something called indefinite residency, which is different from seeking citizenship, seeking dual citizenship. With indefinite residency, this would be something like, because I'm married, I could come here for as long as I wanted to, within reason, okay, within behavioral reasons, as long as I don't cause any disturbance or do any sort of criminal activity, blah blah blah. I would be able to move about, back and forth in this country as I please with this special residency, which is called indefinite, and they tend to apply that to marital situations, which is separate from citizenship. Anytime you got citizenship, that opens up the right to vote and some other things that have nothing to do with just standard living. So this is good news. This is a beautiful day. Isaac said, "You want your? I didn't know you wanted residency." I said, "I want everything that belongs to me. If I don't do nothing but set it on the shelf, I earned it. I've been coming to this country. I've been serving this country. I've been hosted well in this country, and because I may not like certain things about the country, most certainly doesn't mean that I would give up the right to have my residency." And so, he put that pedal to that metal and got to working on behalf of it. I have to give a huge shout out to my husband. He has been a soldier in this. To Joseph and also to Susie, who spent an entire day in Lilonia making sure that all of the pieces for this letter were put together, that all of those signatures were there, right? Because there's a fair share of people that have roles where they're functioning leaders, but they're not necessarily literate. So they're not going to do a lot of writing. You'd have to have somebody scribe for them, or you need to sit with them with their linguist. So yeah, this is it gives me a special kind of benefit that I'm excited about. I also wanted to talk to you about the fact that I can hold a job. I'm not interested in holding a job here. I'm actually very proud of where my business has taken me, Wanderlands Naturals, and it really sort of solidifies in my mind why I've stayed as long as I've stayed, because now I'm on 17 months. And Wanderlands Naturals has absolutely grown. I'm completely living off of it. The university has not called me back since March. I'm not stretching myself thin and stretching and doing all these other jobs. I'm simply focusing on this small online business, and I'm finding that I can survive off of that. Now, the beautiful thing is, my husband has actually, initially, he was kind of watching me and supporting me, but not really getting it. Now he gets it, and he is a true partner in this experience. And he actually has begun to take ownership and sees it as his business as well. So anytime you're in partnership and people don't do buy-in, you're not safe. But once they're buying in and they see themselves as a real stakeholder in it, now you got some awesome sauce. So I'm in a really, really good space with him. He is still working his juice business, which is also Wanderland's brand, Wanderland's Juice. And actually, he's doing it better now, because now he gets the idea like, look, all this fantasy about factory and shipping and exports and all that, that's fine, but let's deal with the reality of what we have, what our resources are, what our networking ability is, what connections we have, what can we make happen today, what can we make happen in the next week, the next 30 days, the next 2 months. And what can happen is, you have a certain set of restaurants, because we're in Pone. So there's two beachfront bars that he works with. There's a restaurant that recently worked up. She's probably one of the most polished facilities I've seen yet, and she's using his juice. I said, listen, God got to trust you with the little things before he give you the big things. Do that, and do that well. Do that so well that everybody that comes to this community knows you. And then let's move to the next level, because there's no one offering to export anything for you. You have no relationship with exporters. You haven't tried to build anything. You don't know how it works. You don't have any connections with any companies in the U.S. that want to hold your juice. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm saying that it's a good place to walk first before you all of a sudden, send your application into the Olympics. It's taken over a year to get him to embrace that idea, and now he works on his juice little by little. He vacuum seals it, he gets it out of here, and he's able to meet the plot supply and the demand. Where before, he's opening up these different relationships, and then he didn't have enough supply for the demand because he's still kind of distrustful of training anybody to do the juice with them, worried about teaching them, and then they run off with the recipes or whatever it is. He's just getting to that point where he's thinking about employing someone, and should he actually employ a team, even a strong partner that again has buy-in, yeah, he'll be able to do some other stuff. Now, I don't mind being the business end, but I'm not a juice maker. And one thing I don't do is I don't hop out of my lane. I don't pretend to be things that I'm not. Okay, I'm okay looking. I'm not a runway model, so I don't do modeling. I'm a middle aged woman, so I'm not about to join any Olympic team. You understand? I'm 5'7", so it behooves me, not to be seen next to statuette women trying to do anything because I'm okay. I'm average. I'm okay. So yeah, let's stay in reality. It's easier to manage. Let's be true to ourselves. Let's be our authentic selves, and we'll be okay. We'll keep it moving. So I'm happy about that. Then, what else do I want to tell you? Uh, I think that's all I wanted to tell you. I think those was the biggest things that Wonderland's Naturals is sustaining me. I'm staying here. I still hope to work on the school, and I am actually behind the scenes putting some stuff together. Um, but no, nothing is more exciting than having actually sealed the deal on this residency. So you're gonna see a little bit more of me in Ghana. I'm still trying to get back to Tanzania. I need to actually check on my assets there. I would love to physically see the people. I love them deeply. But I also want to see my cows, my chickens. I started goats there. I haven't been in my roundhouse in Tanzania. I see pictures of it, and I just hate it. That I can't just actually walk in it and spend the night in it and enjoy something that I've built for myself. But all of that will happen Godspeed. So it's not happening yet, but I'm hoping the COVID, we're coming out of winter where, COVID gets really, really rough in the winter. And I'm hoping that the COVID issue will lower itself in spring. And then some of these mandates and stipulations will lighten, and I'll be able to actually travel. Me and Gia and Isaac will travel to East Africa, maybe stay there for a couple of weeks, and then return back to Ghana. I don't have my sights on the U.S. yet, although I am homesick. We got through the winter pretty good. We got through missing snow, missing Christmas there, um, missing Thanksgiving, all that good stuff. We got through it. New Year's by simply beginning to live. So I realized being here, I have to leave my husband behind on a lot of stuff and go back to myself. And part of going back to myself is remembering that I buy tickets to things. I love the theater. I love going to the movies. I like to give myself a good date at a restaurant, one that I'm familiar with and one that I'm unfamiliar with. I'm taking dance lessons. I'm actually going to get me some weights because I've atrophied quite a bit being up here. I don't move as much, partly because of the heat and partly because I don't have enough places to go and people to be amongst to actually say, hey, girlfriend, let's go power walk together. I don't have any of that going on here, but I'm going to make a space for myself so that I stay healthy and happy and feel strong and good. Yeah, so that has gotten us through. So we did some really, really fun things, and that lifted us out of sort of a homesick kind of slumber. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to sharing more of adventures with you about how I'm living here in Ghana, and making this relationship work. And I want to get back to some of those relationship topics because I have learned some stuff. I said, good Lord, I see why you kept me here. Now, I can honestly say I met my husband. The representative is gone. And I most certainly know that he met me. Okay, I was laughing yesterday because he had taken one of my Tupperware bowls and given the ladies outside in the community some ice. He didn't say anything to me. Now I have some bowls where you know how you've had ice cream or something else in it, and you're not committed to that bowl. But these were things I personally bought that I stay on top of them. And I said, "Where's my yellow bowl at?" "Oh, I used it to give such and so some ice." I said, "You handed my bowl?" "Yeah." And I got to talking. Ruckum, shruckum, shruckum, ruckum. Ruckum, shruckum, 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 ruckum. Shruckum, ruckum, shruckum. I wouldn't have did you like that. Ruckum, shruckum. You don't know no respect. Ruckum, shruckum, shruckum. Who are you to hand my stuff out and not say nothing? Ruckum, shruckum, shruckum, shruckum. Next thing I look, I heard him say, "Oh, oh." He got up. I heard the door. I heard the gate. Next thing I know, he was coming back with my bowl. I said, he knew this woman is going to go on all night if I don't get her bowl back. And he's right. He learned his wife. And I knew my husband. I said, if I keep running my mouth, he going to get irritated and go get it. So the marriage is growing. We getting it. we getting to understand each other in our own little way. Anyway, enjoy your day. I'm signing off. This is Dr. Wanda.